Dr. Simone admitted that they might have underestimated the tension of having an ex in close proximity could create. The episode started where the last episode ended, and the lion king was charging his gazelle, and the gazelle was running. He was running like a track star. If it wasn't for a security check, little Dr. G would have been tore on up. Baby. Ho, baby. So the fellas surrounded Mr. King in attempts of calming him down and letting Dr. Smurf escape. Instead of trying to calm and talk to her husband, Sweet Tea she was coming for King. And Quiet had to let Miss Mamas know, baby, you need to go with your husband. Dr. Eugene tried to talk to King to deter him from wanting to put hands on Dr. G, but King wasn't hearing none of that. Dr. Eugene was like, you know, they got to pass. And King was like, nah, cuff, they pass. So then Quiet was like, let's take a walk. And they took a stroll to vent about Dr. G. King said Dr. G can talk to his wife like that, but he ain't gonna talk to her. Not like that. And Quiet said, first of all, he shouldn't be talking to any woman like that, which is true. So Cecil then tells Dr. G that he has too much riding for this ish. And if this is a situation where he feel like he can't be in his company, then he needs to leave. He need to move on or something like that. The fellas were saying that they knew Dr. G was protecting his new marriage. Okay, girl. And King informs Quad that Dr. G won't be speaking to her anymore, but that she can say whatever she wants. He was like, Big Daddy got your back. You can say anything you feel like saying. And she was like, I know, but I don't want you out here fighting. I wouldn't even put you in that kind of situation. And then Dr. Mimi was trying to calm Letitia down, letting her know that this is what I'm assuming, Quad and King are trying to do. That they're trying to get between her and Dr. G, and that she can't allow them to do that ish. And Letitia told her that she won't allow them to do that. So then Phaedra, Dr. Mimi, and Dr. Contessa huddled around Sweet Tea, and evangelist Dr. Contessa started praying and laying hands on the lost souls of the sea. And according to the messy docs, Miss Phaedra was speaking in tongue. It seemed like a lot on a sandbar to me. And Toya slowly made her way to see what those hoes was yelling about. It took me when Apollo told his wifey that he knew Faye since 1997, and that he never heard nothing like that in his life. Dr. Simone claimed that she couldn't understand why, of all people, God would choose Shady Boots Phaedra to speak to Letitia. Like she or any of them is a saint. And she said that God ain't talking to her about her relationship with Apollo, Phaedra's ex-husband, who ain't it, and cheated on her, abused her, and Shireen, the bitch he was creeping with. Dr. Simone, you, Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Jackie would never be okay with any of that ish. Try and be expected to play nice and cute. None of it. So, you hoes be sounding crazy as cuff to me. For real. Donkey from Shrek, sit down. Go find Dragon or something. But anyways, so Dr. G told his wife what happened between him and King, and that all of that was his fault. that he put her in that situation, but that they're out of it now. So Sweet Tea and Dr. G both agreed that they're going back to the house. And Dr. Simone announced that their boats had arrived and who was getting on which boats. Because they had to split this up. They had to make it to shore safely. Or whatnot. So Dr. Perfect Jackie talks to King, right? And he explains to her that he doesn't have a problem with Dr. G, but that everybody has their limits. She then tells him that she understands, but she doesn't want him to get in any trouble. And then this elder asks this man what number whoopee was he in the quad on today, and that they needed to get their number 15 in. And King was like, yeah, that's probably my problem. Oh, nasty. She was blushing, cheesing when she said that. Girl, sit down. Quad, you better get your man. This cougar was looking like she wanted a bite. Like she wanted to see what Quad was talking about. But anyways, Mr. Curtis was like he'd never seen grown men get up in each other's face like that and how crazy it got. And then he was like, he hates for both of the guys that it came to that. And I agree, you don't want to see people going through stuff like that, especially if they, got to work and have some kind of cordial relationship. But so Dr. Contessa asked Dr. Heavenly if she was okay, even though she wanted a fade from her not too long ago. And Dr. Heavenly didn't want that smoke. Homegirl, I heard, ran. So anyways, and Dr. Heavenly was like, yeah, I'm good. Dr. Contessa then asked, why was it so deep with her, Letitia, yeah. And Dr. Heavenly was like, that little girl is too volatile for me. Talking about how Sweet Tea can't be yelling and carrying on and puffing her chest with everybody, and how she don't like that ish. Not at all. So Dr. Contessa was like, yeah, that's just when she loses her temper. But she's real sweet. And Dr. Heavenly was like, yeah, she's sweet. And she a nice girl. But Dr. Contessa was like, she feels sorry for Sweet Tea. That she thinks it's hard for her to navigate her life right now and figure things out, or something like that. So on the other boat, Bad Temper Letitia is talking to Phaedra about what she asked Dr. Heavenly that started their little ones and twos and got things popping with them. Hell, she wanted to know why would she think it was okay or a good idea to invite Apollo on a trip knowing that Phaedra was going on, I guess, or whatever. Hell, I wanted to know too. Child, you wanted to start some ish and it didn't go as planned. Well, not have how you planned it. So then Letitia was like, she can't beat up a senior citizen. I was like, Dr. G, it looked like he got a little offended with his old tail. So then Jamaica Paris tries to say something about telling Apollo that he told him that he and Phaedra matched and how he was putting on for y'all like he was clueless. That's what I got from it anyways. So Toya was ready to go to bed. And Dr. Contessa was like, you got to give people time to heal and process what happened and to take accountability for the roles they played. And Dr. Simone then says that she just don't know how they're going to work this out. So then they get back to land, get off the boats and call it a night and go back to their rooms. And the next day, Toya called her son to check in with him at the house. Dr. Contessa apologizes to Dr. Mimi, letting her know that their trips are not usually that wild, that last night is not their norm. She confessed to the confession booth or whatever that she was white line, but she liked Dr. Mimi and wasn't trying to scare her off or her husband. So Dr. Mimi was like, they are going to have a redo today, right?
So Dr. Heavenly invited Apollo and side chick Shireen to a room to talk. Man, tell me why this really, really irked me. Hell, Dr. Simone irked me too. So Dr. Heavenly told Apollo and his wife that she apologized for what occurred the day before because things went all the way left. So then Apollo said his little ones and twos or whatnot about Shek and Phaedra and how he felt, about the whole situation of how I guess they messing around. And then Dr. Heavenly said that she thinks Fave did her little stunt to play in Apollo's face. And she invited him to try and play in Phaedra's face. So even. Anyways, messy boots versus messier boots. Honestly, I don't care for how Shireen feel about Phaedra, to tell you the truth. And Dr. Heavenly gonna say that this ish backfired and how it wasn't her fault. Okay, girl. Okay. When Apollo said that he tried to reach out to Phaedra to have a sit down and how she didn't even want to hear him out, I can't really blame her. Dr. Heavenly is male centered, calling her husband daddy and all. I don't understand why anyone is surprised when she would get her rocks off by inviting abusive ex husbands of women or so called friends on anywhere. Is wild. I mean, I don't get that one, but okay. This is the same woman that went on her own platform and totally showed out. This heifer said, um, when you have a conversation with somebody and they get upset and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not pitch men, not the guys that are kind of soft, real men, straight men uh gonna feel like are gonna feel like um did you just tell my wife to shut the cuff up? I'm gonna have a problem with it. Like, wait, what? I'm assuming she was addressing and justifying why King was pressing Dr. G, but how in the same instance you had to dehumanize a whole group of men? So in her own words, gay men aren't real. That was messed up. The fact that a lot of women, especially celebrity women, use gay men like accessories, like a purse or what I'm saying, a bag or something. When it's convenient, when they use their lingos, their gestures, they let them do their hair, makeup, and fashion. But their true homophobic views come out on Mad Day or to prove a point. Sadly, these same men would not hesitate to support and defend you when you need it. And a lot of these straight men would and have looked the other way just to not save you and barely give a red cent about you. So be careful. I know gay men that have drugged straight men that towered over them, bigot them, all of that. So a man is still a man, sweetie. But she was wrong and should be checked about it. Period. But anyways, so Phaedra and her new youngin were in her room packing up to leave, and perfect Dr. Jackie comes to talk and check on her. Phaedra tells Dr. Jackie that her and Shaq are leaving, and Dr. Clueless asks, "Why?" Girl, Phaedra told Shaq to go play with some toys or something so the grown-ups can talk, and told Dr. Jackie that she was mainly disappointed with her. And like the good old doc, I was wondering, how Faye, what did you expect Dr. Jackie to do? Dr. J was like, nah, heifer. You ain't putting that on me. They told me you knew Paulo was coming. Phaedra knew none of that was on Dr. Jackie. Girl, stop it. Dr. Jackie was like, girl, what should I have done? And Phaedra was like, nobody supported me. I was hung out to dry, girl. I was in the ocean with no life jacket, no dinghy. Hell, I didn't even have those arm floats that the kids be swimming with. Y'all did me wrong. Y'all some mean girls. But I'm a mean girl too. But y'all meaner. And y'all was wrong. I really couldn't stand how Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone was talking about Phaedra to her ex abuser, Apollo. It was giving these hoes male censored as hell. I cannot. Just stop talking. When Dr. Heavenly said that they are genuine people, I almost fell off my sofa. Girl, stop. I can't take all these lies. So Apollo and Shireen said they were going to do their own thing in Miami. And I was like, bye, Felicia. But anyways, Miss Phaedra was like, some people can be played with, but I'm not one of them. And that she doesn't play with these type of mean girls. So she had a private jet to catch and deuces. For the most part, everybody were reflecting on the events of the day before and the two couples that left on their way to their next outing. Dr. Simone admitted that they might have underestimated the tension of having your ex in close proximity could create. Oh, really? Book smart, world slow. Girl. So the women meet up to a distillery to drink. Girl, they gonna drink. So Dr. Simone says that yesterday was the worst experience that she has ever had with a group, and that the most devastating thing was when King um and Gregory. So the men all meet up at the cigar factory to roll up and drink some rum. The men reflect about the events too. And Dr. Damon asked if anybody talked to the other fellas. Dr. Scott was like, he thought it was too soon to be chilling with the exes. And King was like, it wasn't about being uncomfortable, but I will be respected. And so the guys was like, all right, dog, we get it. We ain't Greg. We ain't scared of your ass. You better chill out. Nah, I'm playing. But anyways, so Dr. Damon was like, hell, I don't blame him. Sometimes you gotta you gotta do what you gotta do to protect your woman. Kind of not. So Dr. Simone tells the women that Dr. Jackie and Phaedra talked before she jetted out of there and said that they were mean girls. Dr. Jackie said that Phaedra left upset and that she ain't chilling with them no more. Not them mean heifers no more. So they try to get clarity on if she was done with the trip or if she was done with them as friends. So Dr. Heavenly let it be known that Phaedra's words were that she's done with all of them. And Simone was like, you mean she done with your messy asses? And Dr. Unheavenly was like, no, us. And then Dr. Simone was like, cut Phaedra. I won't lose no sleep. Not one dream, ho. So the remaining couples get together to do some couples therapy. So on the way to the therapy session, Dr. Contessa checks in on Dr. G and Letitia.
So over at the Lungsford house, Dr. G and Sweet Tea reflect about the day before. Dr. G honestly tells his new wife that when Quad said she left him, that he wasn't ready to hear that. And he lost it. Dr. G says if Shet wasn't there, it could have been a fight to the death. So half laughing, Letitia said she didn't think it was going to be a fight to the death. He was being a bit dramatic, but he didn't know. So I get at him, I guess. He was like, we don't know him or what he's capable of. So it could have been a fight to the death. How he downplayed her training was off putting. Okay, I agree that the average man is most likely stronger than an average female, but to just downplay her training and combat experience was a little messed up. Hell, she was trying to save his scary ass. I've seen women with no military training or experience drag, dog walk some of these men. So don't do that, Dr. Smart. Gregory, she might can give you some fighting tips for your survival while you playing. So then he turned his misplaced anger on her. Per usual, he walked away. And she chased him. This man showing signs of being verbally and emotionally abusive from just the last two episodes and how he treats and speaks to women. I feel that Sweet Tea was trying to save herself of embarrassment, but also him from himself because she knows his mic was still on. He was being recorded, and the real abusive, nasty, chauvinistic self was going to come out. How he speaks behind the scenes to her. And that's why she kept saying, be quiet, stop talking. And that tells me it gets bad, real bad. And how he really didn't give a cuff. Letitia was like, it's really not my fault. And that coward was like, yeah, it is your fault. Wait, say what? The sad truth, I'm sure she knows what Mrs. Quad was saying, which was not a lie, not at all. But when she's around her, she laughing, she's into the heavens like she won a prize. Girl, stop. But be crying herself to sleep at night to say she has a husband. I know too many women like that. One day she'll wake up. But Dr. G, you wrong and you need help. And they should have had that prayer circle around your ass, not just your wife. So Dr. Simone had the couples dressed in yellow to a therapy session, I guess for the couples or whatnot. So Dr. Heavenly asked Dr. Mimi to help the group. So she brung out her $5,000 bowl she purchased from the Met Gala, whatever. They hosted with some of the lemons in it to pass around to each person with no interruptions. So Dr. Simone asked Dr. Mimi how she felt about the presence of exes in the group. So she passed her the little raggedy bowl, and Dr. Mimi said that the exes have done their work. So if the trauma is still there and the work was not done, they needed to exit or something like that. So Dr. Simone asked Dr. Jackie how she felt about exes in the group. So she gave her the little bowl of lemons or whatever. When Dr. Jackie said if that were the case with Curtis and her, the ex is not welcome. She said honestly, she could not handle none of that. Wait, say what? So then Toya woke up because homegirl fell asleep and said she had something to say. Give me the bowl. So Toya said Letitia was wrong, and Dr. G was wrong too. But hell, they was all wrong. Duh. Oh, girl. Okay, finish. Then she was like, how they conveniently saying that they ain't mean. However, they do some cuffed up ish. Well, then Dr. Simone was like, yeah, we do. So then Dr. Heavenly snatched the bowl. Girl, give me that. And was thank you. And was like, thank you, Toya. You right. I ish. Nah, she ain't. She ain't say that. But she ain't. So Dr. Heavenly was like, I was wrong for not considering Quad's feelings, and I'm wondering if she gonna tell Phaedra that same thing. But whatever. And what took me is when this heifer fixed her mouth to say that she agreed with Dr. Jackie, that she couldn't handle an ex in the group. But she be the one playing with people, going out her way to invite their ex. You dirty hypocrite. Dr. Simone almost fell out her patio chair eyeing this messy bitch. Like, for real. So Quad asks for the bowl. Give me the bowl. King says that this is not a natural environment and how emotions can be involved and how both parties have not done the work yet and how they just humans. Then Dr. Eugene said his little ones and twos about Dr. G, and Quad was like, I'm not asking y'all to pick sides. Like, I'm good. She asked for the group to put themselves in her shoes, though, and then they'll have clarity. So Big Curtis asked for the bowl and said he wants to know how to reach out to the missing individuals to let them know that they can still be a part of the group. How can they correct the things to go forward? So Dr. Contessa tells the group how she spoke to Dr. G earlier, and although King is calm, Dr. G was hot. He was on fire. So Dr. Damon said that he accepts everyone there, that they don't have to be perfect for him, that they are amazing people. Simone thanked everybody for coming, and they went back to their rooms. And that was the episode. Well, that was the end of the episode, I should say. So let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this episode. And bye-bye.